welcome to another exciting episode of Modest Mike. Today's topic is one that's become more and more important, especially in our Muslim community: mental health and well-being. Islam, at its core, emphasizes on compassion, self-care, and balance. So today we are going to talk about how to use our faith to support our mental health. I have with me here Khadija Khalid.
Yay!
Welcome, Khadija.
Oh, thank you.
How
Thank
are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. Today we are doing pink.
Yes, enough of the black attires. I like black too much. So yes, today we are doing pink.
Okay, so today we are going to talk about mental health.
Yeah.
You know, in the Muslim community, this is something we barely,
barely
talk
talk
about.
about.
Like, we've done ourselves hardcore.
But, hey.
Especially the men.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's what we are going to talk about today.
Mm-hmm.
But first of all, how do you understand mental health in your own concept?
Well, health. The word health in itself is talking about your general well-being, your physical well-being, and of course your mental health well-being. So what your thoughts are about, what influences the way you think, the way you act, but then upstairs, and some of these things we barely talk about them. You may be going through something you barely talk about, it's eating you up, you don't know what to do, you don't know who to turn to. Well, obviously, what we hear is that if you have any problems, you should go to Allah, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes you need to also talk to somebody you trust.
Yeah.
So I think that it's important that we talk about this today and then share what we think can be done when it comes to, struggles with mental health. Like you said, especially with the men. It doesn't mean women don't go through it, but especially with the men.
Yes, and then I think the men have been made to think that
they should be hard.
They're not supposed to
vulnerable.
Yes.
Yeah.
But sometimes I think vulnerability is strength. Sometimes
vulnerability is strength. I think I get where you're coming from, and I agree. I really, really agree with that. I think that is like a tagline we can put here. Like, vulnerability is strength.
Yes.
So yeah.
So you being vulnerable doesn't make you weak at all.
No.
Sometimes, it's okay not to be okay. Sometimes you don't have to.
I know a song like that. It's okay not to be okay. Wait, continue.
Okay, the one I know is it's okay. Okay. So have you ever been in a position where you think your mental health is at stake?
Oh yes. I think I was even talking to you about one of that, but obviously I can't put the exact thing out here. But true. Yes, I've had to really struggle and come out of that place, and it's like you struggle. It's like at the same time you don't know how to talk about the thing. The thing is eating you up. It's affecting your daily life, but you don't know. It's just
because the problem is still there. The problem,
my dear, I can just be
doing the problem,
but it won't go. And it's like you don't also know how you are going to come out of it. Right. For me, I think reading helps me. Well, aside watching Islamic lectures and all that, I think reading really helps me. Like reading self-help books, or like books that generally speaks to you as a human being, how you can also develop. Okay, so it's like up to this point, even though I was going through it, because I've put myself in a position where I read and research about certain things. It's like I was able. I always say I'm my own therapist. I talk to myself about the situation and then try to analyze it from a third person's perspective. So when I do that, then I'm like, if somebody comes to tell me this, what will I tell the person? So then I start thinking about it. Well, sometimes I talk to another person just to get it off my chest, just for the person, so that we'll all laugh about it and then go away. But I think that's what has been helping me. I'll think about the thing and I'll be like, so if I come and tell Osama this particular thing, what will she tell me? Because now she doesn't have that emotional roller coaster or whatever it is that I am going through at the moment. So if I come and tell you, what will you tell me? Obviously, I won't come and tell you if you are not somebody that I can trust.
Right.
So me, I have like 101 ways of how I come out of these mental, emotional situations.
But then sometimes I feel like we should just allow ourselves to go through it. If you always want to run away from the problem, it doesn't It doesn't like
That's
just,
another. So exactly, that's one thing that I do. Me, when I'm feeling something, I acknowledge it. If I'm in love with you, I will acknowledge it. If I'm not supposed to be in love with you, I will acknowledge it. Okay, I'll tell myself, okay, at this point, okay, this is how I'm feeling. Then I start processing the whole thing. So this thing that I'm feeling, why am I feeling that way? And you know what I also do? Every day I try to write. Well, I don't really write, I put it in my notes. If I feel any kind of way, I just put it in my notes.
for the notes there, people
If
open
I
it.
feel if anybody opens, there's this particular note, I've had to even put a lock on it. Nobody will take my phone, but nobody will take my
It's
phone,
true,
but I've had
like
to
the
put a
notes
lock.
that
Yeah,
they see.
exactly. So it's like at any point in time, if I feel any kind of way, I put it in my notes app. If it has to do with somebody or maybe the other gender or something, and I feel like this person is trying to stress me, I just take my phone and then document however I'm feeling each day. So each day I'll be like, okay, today I didn't feel this kind of way. Okay, I'm doing well
I'm
today.
doing well, yeah, that's true. That's
Then the next day I'll be like, okay, today I'm better.
Yeah.
And then I keep doing the things that will help me take my mind off those things. Could be anything at all. Sometimes it's family issues, anything. I was okay, today this didn't really bother me. Then tomorrow I'll try to evaluate myself and, oh, this didn't really bother me. Then I'll just come out of it. But at the same time, I acknowledge how I feel. If I'm feeling sad, I let myself feel sad.
Yeah, you
If I need to
should.
cry, I let myself
you don't
cry.
always have to like run away
No,
from the
I don't
problem.
run away from it.
doesn't-
Oh.
Seriously, like the way sometimes when people are
No.
depressed, they go, they drink, they all these things,
Oh,
like
my drinking there is Hollandia. Oh. So I think that's one of those things. So for me, it gets to a point that you see that I'm gaining weight. That weight gain is not healthy weight gain. It's because I'm probably thinking a lot and maybe I have money at the time, so I just focus on food. Small stress, I'm going to eat. But it's not healthy, of course. But I mean, it's like everything, anything to get your mind off of what you are feeling. But at the same time, I acknowledge it and talk to somebody that I trust. And if I feel like, okay, this is too heavy, I have to keep it to myself, I just pray to Allah.
yeah,
You know?
And then sometimes, like people see you as the strong one, so they always come to you for, and you're always a good therapy to them. Oh, but then like, yeah, see, the therapists cry. They need therapy.
Yes.
They need like they
So,
also need a therapist.
I think one thing about me too is that I'm constantly posting like happy stuff on my status.
Yeah.
So you can never tell that. I'll even post my problem on my status. You can never tell that is my
Yeah.
problem. But it's like I'm laughing
Yeah,
about
but for
it.
me, because like I study psychology, sometimes I'm
Oh, you
able to
tell.
tell. I'm able to tell. I'm able to tell.
Okay, it makes sense. It makes sense. That's an interesting revelation. Okay, it makes sense, to be honest. Because when I talk to you and you give me some feedback, I'm like,
Because
this is too professional. It's giving professional therapy.
because like sometimes you're able to tell because
Yeah.
I go through it sometimes,
Yeah.
and then people don't notice.
Yeah.
But then when you see someone always posting those kind of things, you just realize that the person wants to just take their mind.
Free,
but when
yeah.
you're alone, like
So
in your
can you tell
room,
mine?
You're I've been talking to you, so I know. I've been talking to you, so I know. The earrings are me off. I've been talking to you, so I know. That's what Khadija did, I know.
Yeah.
So when I see her posting those things, I just come to her. I'm like, Madam, what's going on?
But I mean, if you're not somebody that I talk to, you can barely tell that maybe this is something that I actually relate to or I don't. You know.
Yeah.
So I think it's good that from time to time you talk about these things, especially the men. Well, I'm not a man to know, but I think they have their own way of dealing with these things by hanging out with their own friends.
Some don't do.
And I think, what was I even going to say? I think for them to, they'll hang out all right with their friends and all, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're actually addressing the problem.
Yeah.
They just go out and have fun like the normal way they do, but they don't
They still
necessarily.
come in and they're alone with
Yeah.
their thoughts. It bothers them a lot.
And for, well, being a third party, seeing what goes on in people's homes, for some of them they may be having wives and everything, but they never speak to their wives or anything. So at the end of the day, they end up bottling up whatever is happening. So I don't know How well?
I don't think it's easy because I feel like that's how they've been brought up, or that's how they see everything to be. That's how society has taught them to deal with their problems.
Dear men,
So-
if you are seeing this, please leave it in the comments how you deal with some of these
Yeah,
things.
because sometimes we want to know.
Yeah, because
And
right now
their
we
wife.
can't be potential.
Don't just come to the house and go and be shouting at us, and we don't know why you are vexed.
After all that I've done for you, and they'll come and tell you after all
Right?
that I've done
Yeah, it's true. Oh, but then there are women that are sweet, honestly. Like me,
Yeah.
I'm a sweet
Me too. I'm wise, so me, I'm a wise person. No. But
Okay,
anyway.
sugar, you guys are a sweet person.
Aw.
I can vouch for it. Oh yeah, but then you guys need to learn how to
Sometimes
talk.
let people in
Because
as well.
even as ladies, I don't think it's easy for us sometimes. Okay,
No,
me,
it's
I
not.
barely talk.
It's not.
I don't talk
No,
like
even-
that.
do you know,
Me that I'm
even-
saying it, guy. I don't.
Even even ladies, even when you talk, you don't really give all the details. It's not like you talk, you just brush it up and just give like an idea of what the whole situation is about. But you don't really say, okay, and this person in particular did this to me or this. No. You just give like the whole idea of what the situation looks like. But it's not like you. So even so, at the end of the day, you are not entirely sharing, but you are sharing. But I think it's okay for us because we are able to at least talk about some parts of it. But for men, I really, really doubt it. Most of them just bottle up everything.
Yeah, don't be like that. Be like the prophet and Khadija. I can be your Khadija. Don't worry, I'll be here for you.
Anyway,
So, do you think mental health awareness is? I mean, do you think this particular topic is addressed enough in the Muslim community?
I don't think I hear enough lectures on mental health and how to deal with it all the time. When on Fridays you go for Juma during the sermon or khutbah, you never hear
It's true.
anything relating to mental health. All the time is related to maybe some other sin that you shouldn't do or something. But actual issues, like certain issues, are not really talked about. So I think unless you as an individual, you take on certain self-help books or you do certain things on your own, it's hard to like hear these things.
Yeah, these things. Yeah.
Well, when you watch some Islamic scholars talk, it's not like a defined topic that they talk about. Even though sometimes when you listen to them, it's encouraging, it's motivating, it lifts you up. But it's not entirely like a topic where they come out to speak on. So I don't think I've seen much of that. I don't think
because
at
even
all.
sometimes when I'm listening to like podcasts like on my phone, you see that maybe the topic will be like mental health something, but you start listening to it and it's not like so
not-
direct.
yeah.
Either like deviating from the topic or saying something else that's maybe at least
I really don't think it's talked about as much. Even like you're saying, it can be like a topic. They'll say, okay, this is mental health. You start listening to it and it's not entirely what you need to know about the whole topic of mental health. So I think there's a lot of work to be done.
and then
about
mostly
about
too in the
it.
Muslim community, when you go to like someone with a problem, the first thing they'll tell you is like maybe pray about it or something. Yes, we pray, but then you have to like make an effort to, you have to make some effort, take some steps towards like what you want to gain. And then I think talking to someone helps, but then it's always like pray. We know like prayer is the first thing that you have to do, but even God tells us to like try our best. You don't
That's
have
why
to
we have like
always
scholars
it's just,
in
yes,
community
it's just like
and
you saying you don't have money and you're always in your room
And
saying
not-
that you're praying and then the money will come
come-
to you. It doesn't
no.
work like that. You have to like go out, find solutions to your problems. Like you do your part and then you leave the rest to Allah to like to help you as well. And for me, I don't know, but I'm really like concerned about the men, because I feel like even with the ladies, because it's so hard for like you to see a male child like sitting with the parents to like talk about these kind of
hard.
things.
It's really hard. So I think I like the fact that you mentioned parents. So it's also also boils down to how maybe the person was brought up or the kind of parents you may be having. If my parents are the type that won't hear word about anything, if I've gone to make, let's say, a terrible mistake, right? And I know I've made that terrible, it's terrible, like I can't speak to anybody about it, but it's eating me up. And the only people that I can talk to are people that are not even welcoming. How then do I go about it?
Yeah.
So sometimes you can't always blame people for not going to maybe their parents to talk to them about something. I watched the movie and then the girl was self-harming, right? And then she couldn't tell her mom. She was able to tell her dad. But the fact that the dad was saying that, okay, we have to tell your mom, she was like, no. And then when the dad was about to tell the mom, she said, okay, she'll just take whatever offer they are putting on the table. He should just stay away from telling the mom about it, because she doesn't have that kind of relationship with her mother. So if the dad goes ahead to talk to the mother about it, the girl won't be okay. She may, even in the movie, the girl ran away from the house because the mother is not being a good mother to her. So I think it just depends on the kind of relationship you have with your parents as well. In a situation like that, if you don't have anybody, who are you going to?
Yeah,
who really are you going to?
Sometimes in school, like JHS, SHS, you see there are counselors. Students can come to a counselor and maybe they feel like, okay, maybe this person doesn't really know me. Let me just come and tell the person what my problem is. And then the only solution the counselor has is we have to call your parents to tell your parents. Don't I know that I have parents?
Exactly.
Like, and I've come to you to come and tell you my problem. In
If
we had a woman like that.
I remember
I
that.
never went to her, mom. But me, I used to hear that.
Okay,
when you go to
high school,
let me call your mother.
And you don't want to go there.
Oh,
exactly. So I think for me, I've had an encounter with a counselor, but that was during university. I was going through like a rough time. And even for me, it's like I was part of a group where we were assigned counselors. So you don't have a choice. Sometimes nothing is wrong with you, but you just have to go there, you know. So, but me, I had an actual problem. I think I've even kept in touch with him up till this day. So I went to him, I talked to him about my problems, and then we all kept monitoring my progress. I think that is why when I have a problem now, I'm able to monitor it and go and what's the English campo? I'm able to monitor it and check how I feel every day to just come out of it, because I was there. So I don't think, do you know of any like counselors, like Islamic counselors, like available? Even if there are, we don't know anything about them.
That
act as counselors
sometimes, and they are the same people on the like podcast that talk about these things, but
because I don't see. So right now that you did psychology,
oh yeah, that's my like one of my, I don't know, my dream. I want to have a therapy firm, like mainly for kids, and then like the Zongo community as well. Like I really want to do this. So watch out.
Period.
Maybe I'll be the first.
Oh yes. It will be a great thing, because I don't think I've heard about any counselors, therapists, like Islamic counselors, therapists. No, I've not heard such. And well, anyway, I was going to say, those who get married, do they go through counseling as well?
Yeah, like
Islamic counseling?
Yeah, it's true. I think the Christians do, but the Muslims, I don't really know. I think they just.
Do you have any idea? I don't know.
No, I don't know. But I know the Christians do that.
Yeah.
But I don't, honestly, Muslims, I don't know.
You just stand up and enter the mosque,
you go,
and
like,
you go
your
and cola
parents
night and things.
check,
and
like, they'll do background.
I hear a background check.
Yeah, because what I want the society to see, that's what I'm showing. You don't really know.
No,
yeah.
Until you go.
Yeah, sometimes they say, like, you know the person before you get married to the person. If the person is abusive and all of that.
How will you
sometimes
tell?
like,
you
don't know.
Tell.
Sometimes you don't know, like, people can pretend. Hey, go there, some slap it.
Hey, then I think in the Muslim community we are really like lagging behind when it comes to this thing.
The parents say when you have a problem with your husband and you come and they're like, oh, like, just be like society will say this, society
and be
will say
patient,
or like stay there because of your kids or what. So I should stay there. I can stay there and die. Now who come and take care of the kids for me?
And don't bury that day.
Like sometimes it's good to be patient too, but see,
when it gets to a point, you know that at this point you just cannot.
Yeah, and then sometimes fine, society will talk, but for how long can they keep talking? And those people talking are the same people going through worse situations in their marriages, and they can't come and say anything. And then the parents too that would like force their kids into marriage and like force their kids into marriage. I don't want to marry someone. You have come to force me that I should marry this person. Someone came to me, told me that my parents want me to get married to this person. I don't want the person. Now the whole area knows that I'm disrespecting my parents because I don't want to get married to the person. Yes, and because of that, like she lives in the family house, but it's like she's alone.
Okay.
Like, do you understand?
Yeah.
And then she has a brother. I'm like, so if someone comes and the person wants to get married to your brother, and the lady's family says this, what are your parents going to say? Like,
yeah.
Sometimes they don't think about all these things. Or like, just go. There's money. Just go. They don't care if you're going to suffer any abuse or anything. Like, just go.
Now that we are talking about, I'm just realizing how much of a problem we have in the Muslim community regarding counselors, therapists, and people in like this.
Bad,
like, it's like my mind is, I'm trying to remember or like see if there's somebody like that I know is like this. I can't see like my
none,
yeah
like, none.
We have a problem. We have a problem. No, I think it's important that we talk about this. You can't just. So if I want to get married, then I'm unsure that there's nothing like counseling, or it's like.
The only thing I know is parents going to like
do
the person's house,
check.
Maybe do some background checks, and then know if this person's family is a good family, blah blah blah. If the person's family is a good family, what about the person? Like,
well, I think we stand to be corrected. Maybe those things happen, and maybe we don't know.
So because we are not married.
Yes. Hey, you two, what kind of we are just playing, you just put it there.
I have thought somebody I am married.
No.
Hey, so wait, maybe today is your lucky day.
No.
So honestly, I think these things sometimes we don't see it to be anything.
Yeah, you don't talk about it as much.
Yeah, we think it's
normal,
nothing.
it's
Like
nothing.
And then sometimes maybe when they'll tell you that everyone goes through problems. See, we are different human beings and we all handle situations differently. Someone can come to you and say, "Oh, I've lost one family member." Another can come to you and say, "Oh, I just lost 5 family members." And then you hear things like, "Oh, yours is just one." Like just one, and
it's like
that one person,
that
person can be the only one I have like left in my family, and the person is gone. And I'm coming to tell you, and you're comparing situations to tell me that someone has lost 5, someone has lost this.
It doesn't make any
like
sense.
You have literally made my situation worse for me because.
Yeah, like, I get it.
There's no point.
It's like you're downplaying the other person's pain.
Because it's 5 and 1. That one person can be the only person that I had left in my family, and the person.
Even if that person is not just the only person that you have, the fact that you've also lost somebody means that you too are experiencing a certain kind of pain. Pain is pain, whether it is small or big.
Yeah, like we know that everything we are supposed to say Alhamdulillah and everything, but
Charlie. There's healing to be done after the Alhamdulillah.
Seriously, it's true. Seriously, like you hear stories, because sometimes when I'm listening to the podcast, there are like women who say, "Oh, like I lost my husband, and like the first thing she did was to go in sujood and say Alhamdulillah and all of that," and it was like really, really touching. You're like, "Hey, someone's iman is like so
that's
high
like a lot of strength." Like,
but hey, like seriously,
even after that, it will hit you from time to time.
Yeah,
and that is when you start. If somebody like me, I'll be tracking how I'm feeling and trying
what's wrong with my ear? Can't find the boot.
Yeah, somebody like me, just like I was saying, I try to track how I'm feeling all the time. Well, I haven't like lost. Well, I have. I lost an auntie, like my favorite aunt, right? And it was, for me, how I felt the pain. It was more of shock, like. I expect her to be there, and sometimes she has this nice laughter. If she laughs, you laugh. So all the times, like I just remember the laughter, then I'll be like, hey, so this lady is actually gone. Like,
Right,
it's always shock. So this lady is actually gone. So when I remember, I just pray for her. But it's also a kind of pain. So I'm always saying, okay, how am I feeling today? Okay, today I'm okay. Tomorrow I'm like, okay, oh, yesterday I did this and it helped me, overcome the feeling. Then I try to work on it till the pain goes away. But I don't know how other people who maybe are not like me are handling their situations. But anyway.
Okay, so how do you think we can like encourage more mental health conversations within the Muslim community?
I think what we are doing at the moment is a good thing. This whole podcast thing, we are now going to be sharing on social media, YouTube, TikTok, and people will now be like, okay, well, this thing these people are talking about is actually really good. And then we all start, deliberating on it and talking about it. Aside this podcast, maybe we can, in our own small way, we can talk to our peers about it. Okay. Then you check on your peer and then try to. Another idea just came to my mind. Maybe we can also use our own like personal social media platforms. Maybe create flyers, share, a campaign sort of a campaign. I think that's the word for it. So I think we can introduce campaigns that on social media, especially most of us are there. Especially to create awareness on this thing. I think people are aware that there's something called mental health, but especially for our Muslim people,
I don't think they don't really know what it is. Sometimes they feel like, oh, maybe I've done something, God is punishing me. Like,
why do we always attribute
like sometimes sometimes that's what people think, but sometimes that's not it all. Like, the problem is there, but it's okay. Sometimes I understand. Sometimes you're worried, you don't even know
why
like
you're worried.
The head and tail of the problem. If someone says like, what's wrong with you, you don't even know where the problem is coming from. But still, like the Muslim community, I think sometimes they don't even know what's like.
There was this time that I was facing this whole thing. My mind was just hot. When I sit down and I'm holding my phone, you see that I'm holding my phone, but my brain has just traveled. My father was just sitting there. He was just looking at me like this. My father is like one of the people that knows me best. He knows my every reaction, like my facial. He knows everything. When you saw him, I was like, "Hey, Kadi," I'm like, "Yeah." Thankfully, I have a daddy that I can. As for me, I can talk to my daddy about everything. So I just went to him one time. I'm like, "Daddy, Charlie, so and dear, I know fit. I cannot." So I talked to him about it and he was like, okay, he'll help me through it. So it's like all the time he also asked, how am I feeling today? How am I feeling? So even with the fact that he was showing concern was making me feel okay about the whole thing. So I think for me in that aspect, I'm lucky. I'm able to talk to my parents about certain things that happen. Of course, when it is getting out of hand, then I'll just go to them and talk to them. So in that aspect, I'm lucky. But somebody who doesn't have what I have, how then does the person, cope?
Yeah. And then I know sometimes like people just want to like vent on social media, and very soon we would have like these this anonymous link where you can share your stories, and then we come here and then we talk about it, and people would just
I
give
think
you
that's
solutions.
a nice thing.
Yeah, I think it will help too, because sometimes people don't really want their name or their faces out there. They just want to tell. I don't think anyone would want that. They just want to tell their story to like any stranger without you knowing that, oh, maybe this from Hadija, I wrote this, or that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we just talk about it and we try our best to like give you solutions to whatever the problem is. And I think we can do that. But I don't want to say like Islamic scholars or something are not playing a role in this, but
of course,
I think if they did, it will really help.
I think there are platforms that this whole anonymous thing, people share but it's not like a podcast like this. I think I've seen a couple of pages on Facebook that people share their anonymous stories. They post it and then people leave comments trying to dissect the whole issue. So I think for that, I've seen a couple of pages on Facebook, but like a podcast where people are actually speaking on the issue. I haven't seen anything like that. So I think it's also a good thing. But even those on Facebook, I don't think they are as much. So if we should add our voices as well, then it's like we are amplifying the whole movement.
Even on Facebook, when you read, you can see that like sometimes these women or men are really, really suffering in their relationships. Like it's not only women who go through abuse, or men go through. See, there are men that their wives beat them. Don't tell you, but their wives beat them.
It's true.
Seriously, like their wives beat
men
them,
also
but they
go
don't.
through
Yeah,
it.
they really, really like go through it. But then like the next day they are at work because they know they have to be there. They don't have an option because they have to. No matter what, they are still like the
They have to
breadwinners of the
provide.
family. They have to provide, and they don't really have any say. Because as a man, because
That's the thing,
society,
as
like
a man.
as a man, like society, like be like, like I'm come to say that my wife has beaten me. Like
No, you can't. It's like you can't. You don't even want to think about it.
seriously, and the men too that are really, really like scared of their wives. And I feel like sometimes these relationships like that, sometimes it's maybe the woman is the one like providing for the family, so the man is like really, really like scared. Because there was a story I heard, the girl didn't have a job, so I think she was doing this online job, and you know, with this online thing, it's not always that you really get people to buy. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. So one day she said she left her hostel to go and get a job like outside. She was going and she met a man. And I don't know how you just meet a stranger. Okay, sometimes it happens and you tell them your whole problem. So the man was like, okay, like let's go and have lunch, talk when we are there. Then the man said, okay, you can start work on Monday, you can be my PA. Unfortunately for this girl, this man really like sex.
Yeah.
So like every break time at work or every lunch time, he takes her to his house or a hotel, and then they do whatever they want to do. So there was one particular time they went, and then the man had to go somewhere, but then he left her there. She was just on bed waiting for the man. She heard the door open. She thought it was the man. No, it was the man's wife.
Somebody had gone to give information.
Honestly, I don't know if the man also heard the wife was coming, and he
also
lied to her that he has to go somewhere, because over 1 hour he was still not back. So like 1 hour 25 minutes or 1 hour 30 minutes, that was when she heard the door open. And then the wife came in, and she was also naked on the bed. Said the woman lashed there.
You see, I think that's another thing too. That
ever since then, the man blocked her. Like she never got to reach the man again after that incident.
So the man didn't even
no.
What's the name?
So something like that. I was thinking that maybe there's a woman that provides, like maybe she might have seized the husband's phone or something. I don't know. But then a situation like this, like
now the lady that you are lashing her, what has she done?
She didn't. It wasn't even the woman alone. Oh, the woman plus her mother. Like
she was naked.
Yes.
Oh.
And she said like now she can't go out. She has scars all over her body. Oh, sorry. But you knew he was married, because she even said that the man used to tell her that his wife has done what, that she's still beautiful. Then and they will laugh at the woman.
Oh. This one, dear. Sorry. I think that's like a classic case of a man who is being abused. But in this case, I think that
you have been abused and you are cheating.
That's what I was coming to say. That's exactly what I was coming to say. If you are being abused, you won't sit somewhere. You've dragged somebody's daughter in it and they've flashed her.
And he didn't even call to say anything. Like no explanation, nothing.
He just ghosted. Well.
Married men. Like if you are not ready to be with a person, don't stress the person. Because why? I'm sure maybe he collected some of them.
I'm sure. Oh, but ish. Anyway, I'm just trying to imagine the situation. Is there anything?
Okay, so if someone is struggling with mental health, what advice would you give the person?
Obviously pray, but talk to somebody.
Oh yeah, like you need to talk. Sometimes it's hard though. It's like really hard to talk. Because even like these therapists, they also need therapy sometimes.
Oh, it's hard. It's really hard. I think even before I was able to talk about my recent emotional roller coaster, I've had to like bottle it up and just try to see if I can take care of it on my own.
Yeah.
But I got to a point I just realized that nah, I have to talk to somebody about this thing. So yeah, talk to somebody, it helps. And when you talk to somebody, sometimes they can even make the situation light for you. You guys,
Right.
you see a reason why you have to laugh about the situation,
Yeah.
and then you end up laughing about it. Well, it doesn't mean that it is gone. When you go back home, you still feel the
Yeah,
pain,
just
but
you and your thoughts.
yes, but you can also try to find ways, maybe new hobbies, something to keep you distracted. And then if the thing is always in your face, let's say it's a person that is bothering you and the person is always in your face, you can find a way to not let the person be in your face all the time. You can try to avoid the person if you can. So you try to stay away from whoever or whatever for a certain amount of time. You can also give yourself maybe, let's say this week, I'm not going to let this person bother me. So I just ghost. I'm just going to just go ghost as well and see how you're going to make progress with the situation. So whilst doing that, you can also try to, engage in new hobbies. You can read, you can, whatever it is that you love to do. Me, like this, I like video editing. If you see that there has been a day that the whole day I'm on my phone, just know I'm not okay. I'll just be, I find it therapeutic, okay? So I just do edits. I just try to film more and then post more. And then it just helps me take my mind off, certain things. So you can do that, talk to somebody, find new hobbies, read, just something to distract yourself whilst tracking how you are feeling every day. So yeah. If you need someone, you can come and talk to me. I can keep secrets, Papa. Me, the way I keep secrets. If you are not afraid of me, hey, Saga, what about you? What will you tell the person?
Well,
as somebody who studies psychology,
to be honest, the fact is, it's okay. All I can say is it's okay to reach out for help. And then when you feel like you're not okay, it doesn't make you, I don't know how to put it. When you're going through like mental health struggles, it doesn't make you I don't really know how to put it,
weak.
but it just makes you human, because as humans, one way or the other, even kids
You
go
feel.
through it. Just that maybe they don't know that this is the problem, because kids go through bullying at school. Sometimes they feel like other kids are better than them. Everyone
Yes,
goes through
yes,
mental
yes,
health
yes.
struggles one way or the other. So all I can say is it's okay to reach out for help. And then you don't just go to anyone to
Talk to.
Steady people, and then there are professional psychologists. Sometimes with you say you have a friend you talk to, then
That friend also
Snapchat
has
should be a lesson to
Yeah.
most people, because you see close friends and today they are spilling out
strangers,
each other's secrets
yeah.
on their stories and all of that. So you should just really, really be careful of people that you reach out to talk about your problems to. And to be honest, for me, I don't think this send it thing is a safe place to tell your
that
problems.
anonymous thing.
There's I think you can review, you can check
Who sent it? Oh no, then that's not. Okay.
Yeah, I think you can check, because when people maybe I say something, I'm just there, and on Sunday someone comes to insult me, I see people checking, they're like, Hadija, thank you, that's it, they mention your name, they know that it's you,
It's you.
you get So there are certain platforms that are not safe for you to vent or tell your problems to. I mean, although you think you can't be found or what, people, and you pay to get a person, so
Okay.
someone can do anything just to know who sends this.
Oh, I
you
think
get.
nowadays too, there are these online platforms that provide professional therapeutic sessions.
Yes.
I think I know of one called BetterHelp. I don't
Yeah,
know how
BetterHelp.
I don't
Yeah,
know
but-
how effective it is.
Yeah, they
I
help.
recently saw one, but I've forgotten the name.
There's one too. I think 7 caps or something.
Really?
Just check when you check. I mean, you have ChatGTP. Just ask questions.
Well, yeah.
It'll help you. Or give you
Hey,
the
do you know that sometimes when the thing is entering me, I'll just open Meta AI. I'll just be talking to Meta AI like it's some. And you'll be surprised that it will actually give you practical ways of how to deal with these things. Hey, me, I'm always talking to Meta.
Yeah, so your Google App Store, your App Store, Google Play Store. Just go there. There are therapy apps that you can actually
I think some of them too are even free.
Yeah, some are free, but I think if you with BetterHelp,
there's a subscription.
Yeah, I think when you want a special discount, I think you have to pay or something. Yeah, and then just do what you can, but don't think that people like you're not okay. So maybe I should go to the gym and matter. You come back from the gym. How many hours are you spending? You come back.
That's what I'm saying. So you still need to acknowledge how you are feeling.
Yeah,
the gym may help, but the problem is still
allow
there.
Yourself to like go through whatever you are going to go through it. See, if it's going to take you months, just like go through it. If like Atadi just said, if the person is always in your face, find ways and means to like let this person go. If you have to stay in no contact, do it. If you have to block them, like honestly, because these people don't care. And then
they are living their life and you are there stressing.
And sometimes to like, I don't know, everyone has their coping mechanism. Someone feels like they can just come to social media and come and rant on their stories and all of that. You end up regretting because people are watching, right? And this is social media. People don't forget. And whatever you say, maybe you think that, oh, you've just posted this and someone has taken a screenshot and that kind of thing. Like, social media is a small world, though. It's a small world.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, you have a problem with someone, the only place you feel you can come and talk about the issue with social media when the person is right in your DM. Like, go to the person, because you come to social media to say it doesn't solve any problem.
And I think you mentioned earlier that you should also try to be observant of the people that are around you. I think I had somebody like that. I realized that this person, if I should tell this person my issue
and you fight,
nah, I'm not seeing you well.
Oh yeah, people are watching.
I'm not seeing you well.
Really,
and
really
when
watching.
It happens like that, it's not like I'm not the kind that I'm going to cut you off small time. I don't cut people off. I'll just know how to deal with you. I just know that, okay, you're not the kind of person I can talk to you about certain things, and I'll just not speak to you about certain things again. We'll remain friends, but you realize that the vibe is different, because I've noticed that you're not somebody that. So I think we should all be observant of the people that are around us before you take your problems to the person. But me, I've said it. If you want someone to talk, to come to me. I can keep secrets. Hey, rough.
Okay. So guys, like I said earlier, it's okay to reach out for support, and I hope you all have learned so much today. And like I said earlier, we are, soon would have an anonymous platform where you send in your stories. We'll talk about it, give you solutions, and we'll try as much as we can to help with our own experiences. And then sometimes we'll share our experiences, and then we'll let you know how we were able to come out of whatever problems that we were facing. So yeah, that's it for this episode. Samana Pari Mabrook is my name, and I am your host.